Hey guys, welcome. It's Thursday. It's West Coast Swing. I'm going to bring now. We're going to just walk and talk through the patterns before I break them down for you. Just real quick. Last week when we did the intermediate class, we introduced the side cross pass, right? So I'm going to have Na do that just so we see it, right? Just exactly the way we did it last week, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 and 6. And in case I wasn't clear last week, this is really a girl thing. Okay, guys, you don't have to worry about leading this. Is there a way for me to lead it? Yes. Is there a way for me to teach that to you while we're on video for class? A little shaky. So we don't need to worry about that because this really is designed to be the girl chooses to do that. I'm simply doing my normal pass, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So the lady did something different, but what was the same was the rhythm, so it didn't matter. So our step this week, gentlemen, this for us, it's the same. We're just doing a regular basic action. But the girls, we're now going to change rhythm. So what we did before was 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. That's our normal count. 1, 2, 3, and 4. What we're going to do now is we're going to dance 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we put the syncopation earlier. So last week it was 1, 2, triple step, triple step. Okay? What we're actually doing now is 1 triple step, 1 triple step. So we took that normal slow count that was on the walk and we put it down at the end, right? So that is 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is simply a left side crossing pass, but it's a rhythm change in it. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. And if you watched carefully as we did that, you're going to see that our feet are on different rhythm. And this, I think, is important, guys, even though for you men this may feel boring. What this actually is getting you accustomed to the lady doing a completely different rhythm that you're doing, which is what we do at higher levels a lot. And that takes some getting used to because we're accustomed to everything kind of being the mirror image, natural opposite, and there are certainly an infinite number of not those kinds of things, so we tend to, as we get more advanced, do those. So this is our introduction to that, right? So that was our left side pass. Then the other thing that we're going to do today, and I think a lot of you have not done this before, from a hand change hold. How we get there could be a million different ways, guys. We're just going to end up with a handshake hold, right? So in this handshake hold, we're now going to do what's called a reverse spin. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the lady in on 1, 2. We're going to spin her under the arm 3 and 4. That hand's now back where it was, and anchor step 5 and 6. All right? So we're going to do that reverse spin again just so you can see what happened. I'll break it down for you in a minute. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so that's called a reverse spin. So at speed, that one would look like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So those are our 2 intermediate patterns. Now, I'm going to jump into our advanced open patterns right now since I've got now out here, but I'll break them all down again. So what we're going to do for the advanced level, right, is take that same underarm reverse spin with a head loop and slide. So it's now going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. Okay? We're going to do that one more time so you can see it. This is the line. And 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. There's nothing else to do. From here, I simply catch my partner and off I go, right? That is the end of the pattern. As we were doing this earlier and I was showing it to Na, she said, well, where's the end of the pattern? that is it. It may feel a little anticlimactic, but in dancing, stopping is a big thing that we do. Stopping is just as important as moving for effect. So at speed, we have a 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2. It wasn't really that long that we were there for, but you could see there was a little pause there. I will point out one thing for you girls, and Na and I were working on this before we videoed. Earlier, we were working on this spin, and because we were starting from a dead scratch, Na was turning after she went by me. Notice it's a very awkward position for me. And then when I do catch, Na can't finish what she's doing because she's traveled too far. So what you'll notice when you look back on the video from earlier, and now too, is Na is actually spinning to me, not past me. That's why it's so easy for me to get that head loop and get control of my partner, is because I'm not reaching 2 feet past my base. So that's our first advanced move. Our second advanced move is a whip on crack. It's going to be a whip to a freeze to a hijack. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to dance it through first, then I'm going to slow it down and give you the rhythm, then I'll send Na away and we'll break them all down. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2. I'm going to do that again because it did happen kind of fast, didn't it? And 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 1, 2. Okay? Now what we did, rhythm-wise, was we did 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice there was no break in those 5 moves. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice I still have a hold of Na because this is not really going to send her a long ways away. She doesn't have to cover a lot of ground. She could, if I led her to do that. She could, right? I could send her out and do 1, 2, boom, 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 ba-dum, and really send her out there, but that's not the intention of this move. Oops, lost my mask. And by the way, you won't be able to do that. And I'll tell you why. You won't be able to move fast enough, keep up with the rhythm of the dance, get all the way out there and not pull your partner out of their socks. Not at this point in your dancing. That'll take a little bit of time, a little bit of practice. So we're not about that, because this foot rhythm is double syncopating. We're breaking everything down, boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. So girls, what I talked to Na about was do this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't worry about where your feet are going. That's the man's job, to take you and put you where you need to be. Your job is to make sure you keep up with the rhythm. So you're just going to see now pounding that rhythm out. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She doesn't care if she gets all the way over there or not, because that's not her problem. She doesn't know where I want her to go, so it's my job to put her there. All right, we're going to break these patterns down for you. So the first 2 patterns, gentlemen, your part's the same. It's just a left side pass, kind of. So when we leave the left side pass where the lady's doing that timing change, gentlemen, our part is exactly the same as normal. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So even though she's doing a different rhythm right now, we're keeping to our normal rhythm, right? Okay? And that was the left side pass. Now when I do the reverse spin, that's the underarm turn. I have a handshake hold, but just watch my feet. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So again, it's the same left side pass thing with my feet. Okay? So the first one where the lady does the timing change, nothing for us to worry about. The second one, the reverse spin, things that we want to worry about. Number 1, we have a handshake hold. Number 2, as we bring the lady into us, right? Now, I know you're off camera, but shout out loud so everybody knows and knows that you know the answer. I haven't set you up for this, have I? Because she's freaking out. Now, what has to happen before every turn?
Wind up.
There has to be a wind up. So we have to signal the lady that she's going to turn somehow. So as I move that lady's hand coming forward, I'm going to move my hand a couple of degrees off of a straight line, right? And what that's going to do, it's not intended to move the lady. it's intended for her to get that there's a wind up, therefore there's going to be a spin coming. I'm going to bring Na back out, put our mask back on real quick, and cover just real briefly what really sucks when people do this. Okay? And here's what it is. I'm going to try and do this on an angle. It'll be weird looking at me, but don't look at me. I want you... There. Right there. You go straight for the camera. Okay, good. So, watch what I do with my hand. You see that subtle shift across that line. Okay? That's a good one. Now, this is what I see guys do because they get told to wind the girl up. So I see this. 1, 2. Well, that's not winding a girl up for a turn. That's actually making her turn. See, I just want to do this without her doing anything with her body. I'm not asking her to do anything. See, I'm going to put the hand out there. It's Na's job to now wind her body up toward the hand. Wind your body up toward the hand. Visually? Okay, got it. Didn't see it. Got it? So my job is not to make her do that. My job is to put the hand off, not to try and get the lady's shoulders to turn, just to put the hand off so at her own time, she winds herself up for that turn, right? So we're going to do a 5 and 6 anchor step. So we're going to do 5 and 6, 1. That's it. I took the hand out. It wasn't that far. 2, it starts to come back in a little bit. Now, I'm no longer creating any kind of circular action. I'm now taking an elevator to the top floor as Na spins under the arm. Now, if she travels, I'll have to slide the elevator with her, but that's not my default. My default, I'm going to go on this angle now, across the camera, right? So you can see it from this angle. 1, 2, the hand goes up, and notice it didn't go anywhere. It drops back down into my other hand, and we collect and finish the action. That was perfect, thanks. Okay? So guys, there is a subtle lead. Could you get the lady to do the reverse spin without that little wind up? Absolutely you can. Does it work as well? Pretty close. That's really more for when you go out dancing and you're dancing with someone you've never danced with before and they're unfamiliar. It's kind of an overt, obvious message to the lady, hey, we're going to do a reverse spin, right? So girls, you're part of the reverse spin, okay? So you saw Na turning on 3 and 4, but that's not when Na was turning. Na started turning on count 2. She actually danced turning-wise 2, 3, and. Now we think in these units, walk, walk, triple step, but all of our physical actions don't stay within the confines of that rhythm because I can't just spin out of the middle of nowhere. I have to have some kind of energy. So Na, or the lady I should say, is doing 1. She's got her wind up. Now she's turning on 2, 3, and. Now on count 4, I'm in no different position right now than I am if I were doing the left side pass. All right, so watch. I'm going to put myself in the same position twice. So I'm going to do a regular pass, 1, 2, 3, and. So I want you to take a picture of where my body is right now, and then 4, we come out and we finish. That's our most basic pattern, right? Our left side pass. All right, now girls, watch where I am when I get to that point. 1, 2, 3, and. Am I not pretty much in the same place that I was? Body's in the same direction. 4. All right, so I wouldn't want to go further than that. So the turn happens earlier. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So that's the reverse spin, right? So going back to the other pattern, the side cross basic, nothing about the pattern change, girls, just the rhythm. 1, 2, and 3. There's a little pause. 4. There's a little pause. 5 and 6. So there's a little pause right when we cross, a little pause after the step within the rhythm that we're doing. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so those are our 2 intermediate patterns. Now, going back to the reverse spin, doing the ladies' part to the reverse spin, what's different about the advanced pattern? is simply that she doesn't do an anchor step, and that's all she has to worry about, because it's the man's job to loop that hand over his head. When he loops the girl's hand over her head, that is, now you know what you're doing. So still a handshake hold. The man leads me through 1, 2, I spin 3, and he loops the hand over his head, over his shoulders on 4. So I'm just going to complete the turn and slide away from him. Done. Finished. That's all I need to do. Okay, I'm going to do that one more time so you can see it. So I'm dancing 1, 2, 3, and over his head 4, slide away 5, 6, and off I go. I'm ready to go. Okay, now the last pattern is a whip. The feet are going in exactly the same places. The difference is the speed at which we do them, the rhythm, right? So I'm going to have Na bring her mask out. I'm going to dance through a pattern. You're not going to know, because I'm not going to count it, and I'm not going to do anything crazy, fast, or wild, which pattern we're doing, but watch. So, which one was that? Was that a regular whip or the new one? It was a regular whip. They're the same. There are subtle differences so that we know they're different, right? First thing that's going to happen, gentlemen. So again, what I'm trying to reassure you, everyone, your feet don't change. The rhythm changes. Where your feet go stays exactly the same. Here's the differences. 1, 2. Right here at this point, I am starting to slowly come across in front of the lady for my whip on 3 and 4. I'm not in a rush, but I am going to make my way, so to speak, across the lady, because, you know, basic rule of thumb is we're kind of connected at the chest. So as Na's going back there, I'm gradually coming around and squaring up to her so that we can continue on and do what we do, right? So on this pattern, I'm purposefully letting that open up to a 90-degree angle, me and Na. And I'm going to stay there till the last possible second. 1, 2, 3, and. Now I'm going to step across her and pivot and send her by me all on the same count. 4, and then she's going to finish her last move, 5. We hold count 6. We do a little hip roll for 7, close the feet on 8, done. All right? So we are doing 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Now what you might notice, gentlemen, is I let this right foot on the 4 and drop right underneath me. I'm not pushing or driving to travel anywhere, right? So watch my feet, gentlemen. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right here, this right foot that you see is just coming under my body because it's the least intrusive, the most neutral position I can put my foot in without having to make a body move. And I'm trying to be like the center of axis, right? On a gyroscope, I don't want to move. I want to stay there so we can flip the lady around. So we can do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? And again, girls, you're not doing anything different foot-wise, but you are simply going 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Hold 6. Roll 7, change weight 8. So again, your part isn't any different. Yeah. It's just faster, so that makes it different in and of itself, but foot pattern-wise, it's the same. So ladies, watch Na's part. Forward, side, rock, step, forward, side, back, hold, hip, close. That was it. Same as normal. We'll do that one more time, then we're going to let you go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're on our way. So those are our 4 patterns, 2 intermediate, 2 advanced patterns for our West Coast Swing. This is Thursday, the 23rd of April. Thank you very much, you guys. Stay safe. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.